Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like and subscribe. Support the show in any way that you can. If you're on Twitch, subscribe with Amazon Prime, and it doesn't cost you a dime. You can super chat, become a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/HalSparks. You can super chat, or you can Venmo, or you can just subscribe. Or if you're having a rough time of it, just hang out. The gift of your time is enough. It really is. Unless, of course, you want to make sure that I get to eat. That's a totally different thing. No pressure. All right. So lots of stuff to cover today, not the least of which is that obviously I went very long last night doing the Mike Lindell movie, the selection process thingamadodger. Honest to God, we did the whole movie and I still am not sure what the fucking title is. It's just ridiculous. And apparently, if you'll recall, afterwards, he released this movie on Saturday night, that all day Sunday, along with the call to action, was going to, checks notes, shock the world. Not the monkey, which I think it had a much higher chance of shocking the monkey than the world. And yet, apparently, it's not, people have it all wrong. It's not that it was a boring rehash of the same old bullshit and it dragged and it was insipid and the movie itself wasn't finished and there were some glaring errors in just the editing process, much less the content. And it wasn't that the argument was complete garbage. It's apparently that if I'm reading this correctly, it's apparently there was a massive censorship attack on the Moment of Truth Summit. Apparently, the government, and I didn't know this, but I've been reading up on it. Apparently, the government has a secret, I guess DARPA created it. It's the secret bored as fuck ray, and they aimed it at everyone on the planet. And only people who have the ability to fight their way through bored as fuck, like myself, but basically like resilience. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's like an immune factor that I have, or it's I built up a resistance to it, like like drugs or alcohol. I don't know what it is. Molly. I'll do what I can. Stop screaming for the cats. We'll be all right. All right. But apparently the whole thing took a shit, not because it was terrible, but because there was a massive censorship attack. They got outfoxed, or they were foxed out, or they were all foxed up. Somebody foxed up the whole thing. And of course, if you've been under attack by the establishment, where you want to go, hashtag the establishment, hashtag everyone in the world is against me, hashtag you and me against the world. What you want is to go on Steve Bannon's melanoma podcast. I can't stop. Get it fixed. Get it lanced. Get somebody in there with some scissors. I don't know what. It's creeping me out. And bitch about it, essentially. I was just in the hospital during the magic board as fuck. Well, the ray should have hit you, because obviously they'll shoot establishment buildings, schools, hospitals, government buildings, car washes, laundromats, all the things that are controlled by the pentaverate. So, okay, the splotch. Oh God, now I can't unsee it. All right, here we go. The splotch. Oh boy. Oh, and I got to turn the sound back on this thing. Sorry, beg your pardon. All right, here we go. This is Mike Lindell. Apparently, it's going to set us all straight. He's not boring and repetitive and stupid. It's us.
Mike, thank you for coming. Mike, so many people yesterday after your hit.
After your hit, it was it wasn't a hit show. He means after coming on the show, and he calls it a hit because Mike Lindell pays to be on his show, just to clarify.
Not just that. Now a lot of people that weren't there again looking at what went on at the summit, and I want to spend more time on that. But I want to be very specific. This deadline of 3 September, my phone's blowing up. The War Room Posse's all over this.
The War Room Posse, both of them are there. It's part of hashtag grab 'em by the posse.
They want guidance because it's action, action, action.
They want guidance. You gave them an enormous 2-hour call to action thing. They still need a little guidance. It's think of it as tech support.
Tell us exactly what that date is, why it's important, and what do people have to do locally to make sure that we get the document.
And try to fidget a lot while you're telling us. That's the important thing. So people know that you're excited.
Documents preserved.
Okay, well, first of all, I got a lot of breaking news, but I'll tell you that real quick.
Yeah. Save the breaking news. Go straight to the tech support.
Okay.
The people going to you can go to Frank's Beach, or you could before they just completely cut everything of all my servers in Detroit.
Why? For non-payment?
And
What? Hold on, what happened?
Okay, this weekend Google took down all of my AdWords. I just found out this morning. So when you Google things this weekend, if you Google Moment of Truth, Mike Lindell, if you Googled Frank's Speech, you couldn't see anything. They blocked it. Then this morning, they cut my...
I was able to find it. It just took me a couple of tries. I think he was just wording it poorly.
Servers to Detroit. I own all my own servers. It was sabotaged. Right now, we got this live stream up that they're watching right now, Steve, your war room. And
So the sabotage is kind of hit and miss.
What we're doing now, we do have stuff on a hard drive from the weekend. So
Boy, do you.
we're putting the cast vote records, the inside the machines, the Clint Curtis, which is the Democrat whistleblower that did the first algorithm.
What the fuck is that noise in the background? Anybody else hear that?
Drive from the weekend. So we're putting the cast vote records, the inside the machines, the Clint Curtis, which is the Democrat whistleblower that did the first.
Do you guys, is it just me? Is there some sort of like weird, odd ghost noise going on in the background? Like, blah, 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 blah. I don't know what the fuck that is. Please tell me it's not just me. It's not, it's the deep state. It clearly is. Hold on.
Stuff on a hard drive from the weekend. So we're putting the cast vote records, the inside the machines, the Clint Curtis, which is...
All right, we're just being haunted by something.
The Democrat whistleblower that did the first algorithms, and all the Dennis Montgomery stuff.
Yeah, he didn't do the last algorithm, or the second algorithm, or the fifth algorithm, or the one, because they had to do an algorithm for every state, because that's how an algorithm works. When you found the magic key, I have the key that opens all locks. I have one for each lock, and it's different. Brilliant.
We're putting everything up on the momentofTruthSummit.com as we speak. They want to play with this. Now they've really upset me, Steve. I'll tell you. And
hang on, we gotta take a commercial break. Mike Lindell, tell us once again what's happened. They took.
All right, hold on. Now it's cut. I'll bring the audio back up. See if this is reasonable. So his Detroit servers are being taken offline by the Pentaveret.
The servers down, because I did have people. It's interesting. I did have a lot of people saying, "Hey, it's really tough to see the summit this weekend." People were
it was really hard. You had to sign up on his fucking site.
Telling me the whole time, we were telling them to download the app, etc.
Yeah.
But people definitely had a problem. So tell us what went on.
Yeah. So how'd this go again?
Well, we were crippled this weekend.
Well, intellectually, ethically, morally, just in terms of your argument, I mean, the whole thing did seem to be on crutches. I wouldn't go that far.
The same thing
Oh, level 2 hype train starting. Thanks, guys. Hype train.
happened when I put the movie out, Absolute Proof. They took away Google, Bing, DuckDuck, Yahoo. You could not Google Moment of Truth or Mike Lindell. I couldn't.
I'm gonna Lindell. I'm gonna go with the phrase "moment of truth." Little huge for your pissy little weekend. Moment of truth is you got to be original, or you're not gonna bing your way to the top.
You couldn't buy my AdWords. They took away the ability for me to put AdWords up there. In other words, if you put in a moment of truth, you got something that had
You got something that had nothing to do with your thing because trillions of things on the internet have moment of truth in them. Gee, if only someone in your ad team could have said, hey, moment of truth, especially considering it's over the course of 2 days, which is a fairly big moment. I'm just saying, don't want to nitpick, but whatever. What kind of a fucking moron uses something so generic?
nothing to do with this weekend.
Really shocking.
So I expected to have $250,000 of bills at Google alone. And I get in this morning and it's $100. I go,
sorry, that's just funny. He was expecting $250,000 in bills and he had to pay $100 because he picked a fucking generic as shit name. And he narrowcast. What'd you do? Somebody forget to. They put it all in the neighborhood because he was trying to sell local tickets and he forgot to turn it off local.
what? What happened? And none of the media is attacking me. No media is talking about the week.
I beg your pardon. I did the whole movie. I mean, I know I'm new media. I'm true media. I'm alt media. I should get some credit. I'm a professional streamer, goddammit.
Weekend, the most bombshell, shocking
Take out the word shell, maybe.
stuff that the world has ever seen.
I'm just literally, there was a story today that they've resynthesized the guy's spinal column and he's been paralyzed for 5 years and he can walk. Fuck you, Mike Lindell. You're not even in the ballpark.
For this to save this country. And then, Steve, this morning, I went to come on. It was a half hour. I got in here to get on your show, and we find out they sabotaged Frank's speech, cut the things for my servers. I own all my own servers.
No kidding. So Brandon wasn't updating them regularly?
In Detroit and Dallas, both of them have been sabotaged, but we had a backup plan. As everyone.
What? First of all, sabotaged by what? Somebody stick a tangerine in their side? You fuck. I'm sick of this shit. You can't just come in and say they sabotaged me when I'm going to just go with the asshole. You own your own shit. So you're not on Amazon or something like that. So you haven't bought some fucking Saudi server where somebody upkeeps it for you. See, you had your big weekend coming up. You were dicking around, skipping edit meetings on that stupid movie. And then some of your servers went wacky because you didn't update the fucking things. They were sabotaged by ineptitude. It's the worst kind. The failure's coming from inside the house.
I'm seeing right now, if you're watching it, Frank Speed, this is just our separate CDN, so they can always see our live stream. So we're doing this right now. Everybody's watching the live stream. The whole.
So the other thing wasn't. This was a routing problem.
Sites down, but we have a backup plan there. They don't want you to see the way to get cast vote records. They don't want you to see inside the machines. They don't want you to see this Kurt Curtis that came forward and said he wrote the first algorithms, and he's a Democrat. He put his heart on the table at the summit.
Really? Is he doing okay? Please tell me no one ate it like an Aztec priest.
And they don't want you to see Dennis Montgomery.
Well, that's obviously not. I mean, even Dennis Montgomery doesn't want you to see Dennis Montgomery.
Case we just dropped in Nevada yesterday to release all his information.
Wait, they released all his information in Nevada?
I'm gonna get to.
You doxed your own dude? I don't honestly. I'm not taking any of this shit seriously. We've been through this stuff so many fucking times.
Alabama, you've got some traction on this.
And by the way, what happened to Steve Bannon in between those cuts? Did somebody just like have him in a headlock, giving him a noogie, and then they came back because his hair is all fucked up now? What happened? Did he like, oh God, help me, come back here, you fucker?
I do want to, we announced we reached out to both Smartmatic and we reached out to Dominion about coming on the show to respond, not in a debate, to respond what Mike had of the weekend. Both of them, by the way, very politely came back and said, hey, look, since we're in litigation, we can't do it. But they sent the links, and we're going to put it up on the site and push it out so you can take a look. They did send the links to their defamation suits against the different news organizations.
you can't womp him on his. He's paying for this segment, Bannon. By the way, Steve Bannon has been trolling Mike Lindell this whole fucking time. I guarantee whenever Lindell isn't on screen or isn't around, Bannon and his buddies are shit-talking him and laughing their fucking asses off. You have to keep in mind, Steve Bannon had a fraudulent fund raising money to build the wall from Trump supporters, and he was bilking them, and Trump pardoned him. This is the attitude that Steve Bannon has towards the maggots, and it's an extension of it that he has towards Mike Lindell. He thinks Mike Lindell is a complete fucking dope.
And against Mike, and so we're going to put it all up. And if you haven't had a chance to read it, I do recommend you read it. You should read it. They're voluminous. It's there. Look, we're in a adversarial advocacy system. You'll see their complaints against the news organization. You'll see your complaints against Mike, etc. And I think it's particularly compelling given the information Mike put up this weekend in the 50 states. So you ought to see both. You got.
Yeah, this is Bannon trying to avoid the same litigation trap that Newsmax and Fox found themselves in, even though he's on Lindell's fucking network. Look at Lindell right now. This kind of like being broadsided by by somebody who's on his own fucking network.
And we're going to, at War Room, right, we're taking cuts. We're going to push out different cuts of it. They got both defamation suits from Smartmatic and from Dominion will be up there, and I recommend everybody take a look at it. Mike, let's go to the cast votes because this has got kind of a timing thing on it, and I think it's been a lot.
Steve,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to tell everybody they can also see my evidence that I've had from January 9th because now the Dennis
Yeah, we've seen it a bunch of times, dum-dum.
Montgomery evidence was put into a lawsuit in Nevada to release it to the country. We need to get that gag order lifted, so that's what they're afraid of. But yeah,
I want to show you the things that no one can see, that everybody knows about, but that they filed in something that said, this is so fucking stupid.
Hang on, let me ask you, in Arizona, real quickly, Arizona, Nevada, and now Alabama, just real quickly, give us a summary where the suits are. Where do you have standing and where do you have traction? Where we got a shot to adjudicate this in a court, separate from your defamation lawsuits.
Yeah.
Read off the folded napkin. That's very reassuring.
Arizona was the first one. It was a miracle about a month ago. A judge said, I'll look at the machine evidence. I will look at it. And he's still looking at it. We had a great hearing out there. And we said, boy, if one judge does it, maybe another one will. Well, Alabama just yesterday said, I'll not only look at it, but the attorney general for Alabama, or not the attorney general, the defendant, the state of Alabama said, well, we don't want to talk about the relief of not having machines. And the attorney general or the judge ruled, I guess it was the judge ruled, oh no, we're gonna rule. You're gonna look at everything. You're gonna look at getting rid of these machines.
Fuck, man, they're gonna get rid of voting machines in Alabama before a midterm election. First of all, who the fuck thinks that's gonna affect the Democratic voter base? All this does is it's like he's doing drive-bys, chucking monkey wrenches in Republican races all over the place.
They're going to look at this as what the whole lawsuit is to get rid of the machines.
Yeah, that's not going to happen, dum-dum. It's 2022. Here's a good idea. Chuck your phone out a fucking window. Mike, why are you on a cell phone? You don't trust machines. Why are you even using servers at this point? What else is on those servers, Mike? In Detroit, where Trump himself has said the most corrupt voter system in the country resides in Detroit. And what about Dallas, where your own expert said that the Q-snatch virus was used to steal votes and send them to Spain? That guy's in Texas, and he said Austin's the worst of it. Why are both your server bases in those places, Mike? Bored as shit minds want to know.
In Alabama before the 2022 election. So, Steve, we're working these cases, these preliminary injunctions. One of the things we said at the summit, every state can do one. Just get an attorney, get money to cover the attorney, reach out to us, and we will give you our template, and we get these going in all 50 states. Then from the bottom up, we have counties where you go to your county commissioner and your sheriff, and you bring them the evidence there. We have a
bring it to the sheriff. How you doing, Slim?
Well, Sheriff, I found a big pile of voter fraud laying in the middle of my yard, and I thought I'd bring it to your attention. There's not much I can do about that. The Biden boys have got control of this town, and but surely, Sheriff, there's something you can do. Not until the people rise up.
we have a digital canvasser, and we need the cast vote records. That was the big bombshell. We have 9 days to get the cast vote records.
Yeah, you're not going to get those, dummy.
They tried to stop us, everybody. You can email cast vote records at frankspeech.com. We'll take care of you. You can go to
Oh, you will? Well, I didn't expect to be taken care of. That's so lovely. What kind of services are you offering? I mean, I don't want to. Do I provide you with a list of what I want, or did I just walk in with whatever expectations and understood they shall be met? Take care.
the moment of truth.
Slut, you're a slut.
.com, momentoftruthsummit.com. Go there. We're going to have the cast vote. Very easy. Here's what you do. It's a whole booklet, Steve.
Yeah, it's an easy booklet.
You can just look.
Goes down easy. Just it'll wash down with just a glass of milk. You'll pass it in a matter of 6 hours, and you'll understand everything.
In there, get it ready. Go up to your county clerk and get those records.
Yes, and you might just. There's a whole chapter on dealing with being laughed out of a building.
I'm going to go through the booklet tonight, Mike. We got.
Sure he is. Yeah, count on it.
Got to bounce. Can
You gotta bounce.
people get to Lindell TV and Frank's Speech right now?
No, they can't. No, sorry. It's been shut down. Doesn't even exist anymore, I don't think.
Tell us how you get access
Yeah,
to the
you can
network.
go.
'Cause Emma
Speech.
Robinson follows us. She's a rock star. So on
Yeah,
your
go
channel.
to
So how do people get there?
frankspeech.com, you guys, and Lindell TV. Go to frankspeech.com. Exactly. You're going to still see the live stream. We hooked that back up. They cut everything else.
Okay.
It was up all weekend, and they're replaying it. At no point, honest to God, at no fucking point was the feed cut during his weekend.
watching Steve right now. Emma Robinson is next.
Follows. Okay, Mike. Thank you. I'm gonna go through the booklet this afternoon. People got.
Yeah. It'll be like Cliff Notes. You'll be lucky to see it. Jesus Christ.
I know about this cast votes. You keep fighting on, brother. They can't shut down Lindell. He's impossible. He's an armor-piercing shell.
He's an armor-piercing shell. He's a douchebag. He's lying. His stuff wasn't shut the fuck down. He bored everyone to tears. He turned the fucking thing into a religious gathering of Q nuts. This idea that somehow, like, I don't care what party you're in, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, this is going to be the greatest revival, like that. Nobody bought into that shit. They're over it. Like I said, fucking Disneyland, I was there 2 weeks ago, packed. Gatlinburg, the Redneck Riviera, packed. People have moved on. They are back into living their fucking lives. Thank you, Joe Biden.